29th of May, Ukrinform at Media Center is continuing its work. My name is Svetlana. We are talking today about summer hazards for children and adults, water safety, fire precautions, and mine safety guidelines. Khorunzhiy is press officer at the State Emergency Service, and Pasichnyk is the deputy director for the Labor Protection Department at Ukrzaliznytsia. Shall we start with you, Oleksandr? How many fires have we seen since the beginning of the year? Perhaps you might have some statistics on the hot weather period. We will perhaps share the presentation with the viewers. Over the last 5 months, since the beginning of the year, we have seen more than 34,000 fires in general, leaving 670 persons dead and 705 people injured. The increase in the fires this year is by the increase of 45%. The reason being that the fires are increasing in the ecosystems. Comparing that situation with the year 2023, I'm talking about 22, 24, 23, that comparison. We've seen the increase by 2.4 times in the ecosystems. The numbers are staggering. If we talk about the data, we have seen 15,000 fires covering the area of 12,000 hectares. What are the main reasons here? Of course, this is not living up to the fire safety rules, and respectively, the fact that people are burning fires. This is to say that this is a human factor leading to the number of fires, to the animals dying, to the decrease in the production of land, to the wood fires and bush fires. This is where I would like to appeal to the people with a major advice. Please stop firing dry grass. This is the tradition that comes from the medieval times. Our advice is not to burn it, but to have it pressed, to compost it. Another issue is the result of the Russian shellings. And the search and rescue teams are putting out such fires and are functioning, in particular in the Kharkiv region and in the Donetsk Oblast. In Kharkiv region, we're talking about Limansk and Kupiansk regions. There we have recorded 18 places of fires in Kharkiv, covering the area of more than 2,000 hectares in these forestries. Firefighters have localized the territory of 160 hectares, engaging 240 firefighters. These are heavy fires, bringing risks to the rescuers and fire responders. But we have to work there, and I will give you an example why. It was yesterday in the Kharkiv region. There was a shelling, and in the Vovchansk community, the underwood got on fire, and it was transferred to the upper levels of the woods. As the result, about 10
Рятувальникам вдалося відстояти, тобто захистити близько 64 житлових будинків, приватних житлових будинків. І це відбувається фактично зараз кожного дня, зокрема там, де проходять активні бойові дії, там, де у нас якраз розміщується лісництво. Гине величезна кількість лісів в Україні внаслідок дії окупанта. Тут в контексті перейду все ж таки основною причиною і все ж таки більшість пожеж в лісах пов'язана з людським фактором. Окремо я тільки що сказав просто про дії окупантів, які приводять теж до пожеж. І тут я хотів би звернутися до людей з проханням. В пожежонебезпечний період, а він у нас триватиме і триває з 28 по 30 травня, і фактично протягом літнього періоду, не відвідувати ліси, в деокупованих прифронтових територіях, тому що окрім ризиків по пожежній небезпеці, є ще ризики від мінування територій. Тому органами місцевої влади були прийняті рішення щодо заборони відвідування лісів, і вони тримаються фактично з 22-го року на деокупованих і прифронтових територіях. Окремо про штрафи. Неприємне таке питання, але тут хочу сказати, що у нас стаття 77 з позначкою 1 про адміністративне правопорушення, вона передбачає за спалювання сухостою штраф на суму від 3060 гривень до 6120 гривень. Тобто, якщо вирішили трошки там попалити траву, враховуйте собі, що ви можете отримати такий штраф. І санкції такі діють, адміністративні протоколи на порушників складаються. Окремо хочу сказати, що у нас ще працює аеророзвідка, яка фіксує займання на первинній стадії для того, щоб підрозділи могли оперативно відреагувати в тому чи іншому місці. І окремо фіксує, відповідно, порушників. Тому, коли до вас можуть прийти в гості поліція і ДСНС і скласти адміністративний протокол, не кажіть, що ми не попереджали. Далі. По безпеці на воді можемо перейти, якщо ви не проти.
Так, вже ж це дуже актуальне питання, тому що починається теплий період, люди виїжджають до відкритих водойм, тож може володіти статистикою, скільки нещасних випадків вже сталося, ну і нагадати, власне, про правила поводження на воді.
У нас від початку року на водоймах України зафіксовано загибель 294 людей, з них 19 дітей. Я зараз презентацію перегорну. 131 людину врятували саме рятувальники ДСНС, з яких 5 дітей. Тобто це фактично потенційні люди, які могли просто загинути на воді, якби невчасна допомога рятувальників. Тут можна сказати, ми розуміємо, що в суху погоду, там спекотну погоду хочете поплавати і так далі. Знов-таки підкреслюю те, що на деокупованих територіях, прифронтових територіях купальний сезон відкриватися, відповідно, не буде, скоріш за все не буде, і це визначається органами місцевої влади.
By the local administrations and governments, as we have heard from the Kyiv administration recently. In the city of Kyiv, officially the season for bathing shall not be launched, and the reason is that the beaches don't have shelters. In other words, the rescuers will be on guard. Information campaign, awareness campaign by the SES and the rescuers will take place. We know that officially the bathing season has not been opened. People have been warned. However, people will go to beaches, so we'll be on guard. And the facilities in Kiev and the rescuers are ready to respond. We have the statistics here. 131 persons have been rescued. On the other point of the occupied territories. Approximately 3.5 square kilometers can be contaminated with the blasting material. The area that must be investigated is about 6,000 square kilometers, which makes up about 26% of the Ukrainian territory. 13,000 square kilometers of those is the water area, including the seas and the rivers and so on. And also we take on board the occupied territories statistics as well. I would like to remind you of the main safety measures if we still have time. The major rule is you have to have a bathe in the officially dedicated places by the local government. All the oblast military administrations have defined such places and they are available online. That's point one. Second point is not to swim alone. You have to have two people in case something happens, for the rescuers to be there in time. Third, avoid the beaches that are not defined as the beaches for swimming. Fourth is to take care of the undercurrents, not to spring from the bridges and not to spring into the water at all, not to leap into the water, and not to bathe in the vicinity of the caters, boats, and so on. The water safety, I think I have covered already. Perhaps a couple of words on the mine safety. People are likely to go to the woods and they should be reminded that they must be mindful. As for the mine safety, it has to do not only with the summertime specifically. This year in particular, I would like to note that currently, and you will see that on the slides, what the rescuers have achieved and done in a couple of words: 134,000 hectares out of 156,000 that must be examined have been examined by our engineering squads, and we have identified 500,000 munitions, about 300 aerial bombs. The numbers are staggering. We continue identification process. 297 casualties caused by the explosive devices, including 15 children. This data has been provided by the Children's Secretariat that accumulates all the data from all the demining activities. 673 people have been wounded, including 80 children. That is to say, this provides a context for us to raise a public awareness campaigns that will be covered later on. What I would like to point out is that children must be informed by their parents, especially in the occupied territories, advising children not to go to the forests, to the forest swathes, to inform children that they should go only on the beaten tracks, not to go to the fields, not to touch or be in the proximity of the weaponry. And in case you see or have found something that looks like a device, you should retreat the way you have approached it, because there might be some other explosive devices nearby. If there is a possibility, you should mark that place. These territories must be defined only by specially designated people. We focus today on children in particular. Summer means Holidays. Holidays means traveling. Traveling means Ukrainian railways. Then I will turn to the representatives of Ukrzaliznytsia. How many mishaps have you seen, including children? Welcome, everybody. Since the beginning of the year, we have recorded 120 persons wounded and 67 casualties. The reason in 90% is the collision with the moving stock. As for the children, out of 126 children were traumatized, including, unfortunately, 2 casualties. The reason for such traumas, for the deaths, is the accident with the moving stock. We don't name those people, but I will tell you that one of the instances took place because of the behavior, the negligent behavior of the older relatives. They were crossing the railway at the crossing, and there was a 2 kids, and they were leading their 7-year-old sister. She broke away, and unfortunately, she got under the train. The other instance took place in the Kiev region. Fortunately enough, it was not a suicide, but there was a suicidal attempt when a girl, 13 years old, and she lied down on the railway. What do we do here? The rest of the cases involved a group of 3 children. We call such instances what children believe to be some amusement activities. These children aging from 12 to 14 years old, they decided to climb the railway cars, and one boy was struck by the electricity because it's about 27,000 volts. This cord and its arch is effective in the diagonal of 3 meters, and the guy fell off the car and he got under the moving train that at the next railway, and the third girl was intact, fortunately enough. So children are in our special focus. We work with them constantly and intensively, beginning with the early October last year. What is it that we did? We visited all the educational facilities and schools. Our representatives of Ukrainian railway system. We talked to children with the parents' committees and the educators. We have developed a special video and training materials, paying special attention to the educational facilities located in the vicinity of the railways, leading to the decrease in the accidents. This is the educational work that we do, and we do not cease our activities. Every accident is analyzed. We see the areas of concentration. Such areas are being encircled, but you see we have about 30,000 kilometers of main lines plus thousands of kilometers of additional lines. You cannot encircle all those areas, but there must be a educational campaign taking place. We print different materials to raise public awareness, visiting kindergartens, schools, and other educational facilities. Basically, we've been talking about the danger of the railways, but there are a lot of children going to their relatives, going to the summer camps. Is there a danger within the trains, in different areas of cars, at the places where the cars are linked to each other? Passenger cars, any moving stock, have been devised not only to avoid but to make impossible all the excessive instances. The doors between the cars are sealed when the train has started its movement. The only problem we are facing is the upper berth in the cars. It has to do not only with children, but with the adults as well, especially when there is an organized group of children going on the train, either to a summer camp or to a competition. It's a demand that they use safety belts. There are special cars for children with safety arch. In case there is such a arc is not available, you have to ask for the conductor. I can assure you that over the last year, not a single case that we have seen when children or adults fell off the upper berth. That is to say, this is a result of the systemic work. All the instances are analyzed in terms of cause and effect, and we want to prevent such occasions. Currently, it is safe to say that luckily and happily enough, such cases don't occur. Precaution measures is the only thing you need to remember. Thank you, sir. May I go back to Mr. Oleksandr? We have heard from Taras what the Ukrainian railway is doing. What is it that you do at the SES? I know about the public awareness campaign that you have launched. This information is called Summer Holidays Without Mishaps. We've come up with that idea together with the UNICEF. Last year, it was a successful program of public awareness. It's an informational breakthrough because we covered a lot of areas, including new mechanisms of communication, because our partners know how to work in the prevention area. Major areas are fires, fire safety in particular, the safety of water areas, of course, mine safety. This year, we have been joined by a new partner, the Ukrainian Railways, and of course, they will talk about their public awareness campaign at the railways. Who do we target? First of all, is the children, their parents, their grandfathers and grandmothers. What is it that we do from kid to the parents? Our philosophy is that adults receive a lot of information from their parents. When children come home from school, they say, parents, you know what they teach us at school? You know what I have learned today? Or vice versa. I'll be talking about some products that we have come up with. It may be an opposite direction movement. Grandparents read something in the newspaper and they inform their children about that. This is a matter of synergy.
Обов'язково цю кампанію погоджує.
UNICEF has developed this program together with the psychology specialists to make sure that this is acceptable for children, to make sure that this is a informationally safe for children. The project concentrates on the following. We are constantly working with the schools, territorial communities, how to best use such materials that we have developed together, resulting in what you have to believe me. The results are there. We have seen them. The statistics corroborates that. And we know that children are interested and excited about such information project. The most exciting thing is that we use the youth slang, this argot, for them to better understand. That is to say, we speak with the younger generation in their language, and they understand us very good. What does such a campaign include? The package includes 4 major areas of video materials. 1, water, fire, mine safety, and railway safety. Second area, for the elders, we are printing a newspaper called Hot Firing News that accumulates all the information on all the hazards, including crosswords and all the available information. Older generation tend to refrain from the internet. They're likely to read the newspaper, and this brings good results, especially when you think about the territories where there is no electricity available. In the deoccupied territories, it works fine for the elderly people. They got excited about that. This is one of my beloved products. The format seems to be obsolete, but it contains everything you need for your information. We call it a fiery news. Of course, these also include sticker packs. Children are like different stickers, including the rules of safety, water safety, and the algorithm of the behavior, what to do in a certain situation. That is to say, not to say what not to do, but what to do. And stickers, of course, are so much exciting to attract their attention. The electronic materials are also available. They go as the spin-off of a major campaign that we do territorially at the State Emergency Service. We distribute it to the children, to the educators. You can have a look at all those materials at the site of the SES in the part Safety Holidays. We made sure that this is an easily accessible materials, and there are also materials that you will find at the UNICEF website. This is a downloadable information. You can print it out and take advantage of it. Another point I would like to make is this. SES, together with the UNICEF, have developed the system of safety lessons in schools, how to teach children of the 5th and 7th grades and children of 8th and 9th grades. It's a risky period of life because children, the teenagers, this is the age of the what we call younger people maximalism. We are targeting this particular share of children, including quizzes, and there are a lot of material It's done in a cool way, and it has been accumulated at the official site, EDERA site. That is to say, all the educators, children and their parents can access this site of EDERA site and take advantage of those materials for the education process of children. Ukrzaliznytsia. I saw in Kiev underground the video. Did you see that particular video? You see, these are the advertising, outer advertising, city lights and big boards and video boards, including the places with a lot of people presence. These are different information carriers that we use. And of course, public transportation, including the underway system. We want to cover as many people as possible to inform them about the safety behavior. Let's go back to the Ukrzaliznytsia Ukrainian railway system. What will be your information campaign? We'll be doing the information at the major railway stations in Kiev, in Lviv. We have city lights of our own, and the outer advertising information is available. We have also put up a lot of posters in the most dangerous places where we draw the attention to the safety rules and safe crossing of the roads and railways, etc. We have also printed out such a poster as an example. What we have here are simple things that could save your life and health. There is an advice for children in case you got traumatized. And if you want to see a more detailed information, there are QRs available here. And as my colleague has just informed you about, this is an exciting forum for children. We don't have to frighten children. They will not be interested in that. But what they're excited about is the formats that we have suggested. It has brought results and is likely to bring results. With your permission, I will take from there. You see, last year, SES was the major agent of public awareness campaign. We have been joined by other partners. You see, this is a very specific information from the Ukrainian railway system. It's not a preventive area of functions. We have to have partners, Ukrainian railway, for example, or you will see other partners joining in. This is necessary, this is fruitful, because children are our future. I would like to turn now to the QR codes. This is where you can find all these materials. On a separate note, besides, in the places where we have difficulty with accessing those areas, we have developed, with the help of the UNICEF special system of educating, where educational process is not taking place. We are sending mobile classes of safety. They bring all the necessary, these are vehicles equipped with all the information, materials, posters, bills, stands, and equipment for children to access information more easily. Once kids are not excited, it will not bring the results. Journalists, if there are questions from the floor, you're welcome. Irina Galdina, Ukrinform. Two questions to Oleksandr. You mentioned that 204 people died in the waters and rivers. Comparing to last year, is there a decrease or an increase in the fatalities? 294 casualties. This year is virtually equivalent to that of last year. That is to say, we are on a par with the water casualties. But remember that last year and the year 2 years ago, the number was lower because there are a lot of people who have left Ukraine. Well, basically, this is a result of our public awareness campaign. When we talk about the injured persons or those who have drowned, so there is no recording of the increase. And second question, the Interior Minister mentioned that Ukraine will see a state register of the explosive devices. Will you inform us about what's being done and the launching time? The day before yesterday, we held a meeting at the Interior Ministry, and we touched upon that question. This is an issue under the control of the Minister for the Interior and the government. Actually, our Department for Demining is putting new information feeding the information into that register of the explosive. As for the launching period, it will be defined by the government. The time has been defined. I'm not sure that I know the specific answer to your specific question. There is a plan, a step-by-step implementation process. And according to that plan, the launching time will be defined as it is decreed by the Ukrainian government. You have caught me napping there. Thank you very much. And to remind you, we'll be talking about the summer hazards for children and adults. Media Center of Ukraine will continue our work tomorrow. Thank you for being with us.